Welcome to the Henry Lovers Podcast. We're gonna have a really great show, even though Mike's computer took a big shit, and we have to use his Xbox. Welcome to the Henry Lovers Podcast, everybody. Woo! My name is Brandon.
We're here. We're ready to go. Woo!
Nice, Mike. My name is Brandon.
My name is Mike.
And I'm your beloved Chico.
Just so basic. It's wonderful all the time.
Anything goes, because Trump's on the show. Trump is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, is Trump on the show right now, or is he coming in?
He'll come in. He's been waiting. He's really angry. He's been telling me that he's got shit to do.
Well, yeah, I wonder whose fault that is.
Well, you know, it's my fault. I will admit that. I'll take it on the old chin because it's clearly my problem.
I mean, you know, if you would actually
Mike likes it on the chin.
Take one of our offers to give you a fucking computer.
To be fair, I went there for Ghostmaker and I totally forgot to bring it. Like, it wasn't even like a thought in my mind.
All right.
Yeah, you know.
Chico's just sticking up for.
I'm gonna see if old Trump can join in.
Yeah. Let's get him on here. We'll
Because I don't know how to invite him.
Oh, that's fine. Do your thing. While you're trying to figure that out, I'll plug all the rest of the.
You've got everything. I'm gonna plug all the shit. Plug all this shit.
Okay, so this is the title screen. Oh boy! Here you can find where we try to sometimes, mostly, not always, ever really, do the podcast, which is Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Oh my god, because we can never get our shit straight, which is mostly my fault 90% of the time because of work.
Well, tonight was me.
Well, it's either technical difficulties or it's the fact that Brandon forgets what day it is because he works so much. All right. This is Facebook, facebook.com/Henry Lovers Podcast. You can follow us there. We don't really utilize it, like, at all, but, you know, maybe one day. HenryLovers.pod, whatever, the podcast thing. HenryLoversPodcast.podbean.com. We're getting there. We're getting there. Which, yeah, we haven't really been using that one either because it's not really been as popular as it used to be. We're actually getting way more popular on YouTube than we are anywhere else. So that brings us to the next one, YouTube. Oh my god, we're actually not popular enough to have our own little URL, so that's also a thing. And then you can follow us on Twitter. We do actually use that sometimes, mostly just once a week whenever we have the podcast, so you'll know around the time that we're going to be uploading all of this stuff and all that other nonsense. But yeah. Anyway, so that's the thing. That's the other thing and the stuff. Merry Christmas to all and to all. Let's move on to the logo. Boom! Look at that. Look at all of our faces. We're so beautiful. That's Mike.
Yay!
That's the beloved Chico. The bassy beloved Chico. So,
guys, Trump is blowing up my phone right now. Can one of you please add him to the call?
I will try. I need you to message me his thing so we don't say it
I
over.
did on the Foshbook, or not Foshbook, on the phone. The phone. He's blowing up my phone. My phone.
Okay.
Can't do
Skype.
Right. My Skype is so screwed up. I just want to kill myself. I want to just drink all the alcohol in the world and forget about all the problems. Okay.
Heard.
Golly jeepers.
I'm pretty sure
That's me again. This
means,
guy.
Is it space W?
Holy moly! Please, the period.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness, Amanda Bynes.
Tell him I'm trying. Oh wait, that's not. How do you, motherfucker? Hold on.
Oh my god.
All right, so that's Mike, everybody.
The stress levels this week have been like optimum. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I feel you, dog.
Oh, I figured it out. Add people to this call.
Well, good, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yay.
I'm technologically old.
I figured it out. Holy moly.
Are we good?
Yes.
It says to add contact, and I can search, and I heard the thing.
You are incredibly quiet, Mr. President.
Yeah, and I can hear us echoing.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, Mr. President, there we go. Hello.
How's this Henry Brothers doing today?
The Henry brothers are doing great, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. America's going great. I'm loving everything about it.
Yeah, yeah. I've noticed. It's definitely not been all over the news.
You know, they're giving the bad rap to the people that are trying to protest peacefully down in the South somewhere down there. I don't know exactly where, but it's down
the media
there.
is really dividing the folk.
And I would also like to tell everybody, when they go to my website at Trump.com, they could pre-order these new tiki torches that I just decided to sponsor. I feel like we're gonna make a lot of money, and we're gonna use that money to help build this wall.
Oh, okay. So Mexico's not paying for it. Is that the official word coming from your mouth, Mr. President?
I feel like there's other non-working Americans that are just walking around with signs that could pay for a wall.
I totally understand.
You aren't wrong.
You
aren't wrong.
Mr.
President, I understand you're here to talk about North Korea.
Oh, North Korea. Where do I begin with that little guy? Well, what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get Special Agent Rodman on the case. I'm gonna fly him down on my own personal jet. And he's gonna take his 1996 championship Bulls rig, and he's gonna do something with it. I can't go into details, but there's not gonna be any nuclear war in America. Not on my watch.
All right.
You should get Seth Rogen to do it instead.
Yeah. Seth Rogen and James Franco, they have proven themselves worthy adversaries against the...
I tried that once. They kept telling me I was honey dicking them. I didn't really care too much for what this dick of honey was, and they just kept telling me I was honey dicking them.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do it anymore.
I could see that. That makes sense. I feel like Dennis Rodman honey dicks way less than everybody else.
Oh, man, he sure looks good in a dress, too, I tell you what.
You know, I believe that. I believe that, Mr. President. So,
did you guys...
Yo, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you...
Oh, I was gonna say, I was so close. I don't know if you guys watched Dancing with the Stars or America's Got Talent. That's the one. I was so close to going forward. They did not like MC Hammer dance, and it made me sad.
You did an MC Hammer dance? Do we have video
I did.
of this?
On NBC. On NBC. I don't have video. I'm sure somebody does, though. It's the World Wide Webs, you know?
Yeah.
True.
Sure,
lots of videos on
others
there.
can find it. That'd be super.
Yeah, we can post it up on our Twitter, and all of the 3 followers that we have we'll share it. It'll be great.
Perfect.
I think we have 8. Actually,
How's the food truck going?
Oh, the food truck. Okay, I gotta tell you about this food truck. Okay, I try to hire some hard-working Americans, but they don't want to make tacos, so I have to go down south, and I found some people that really, really love feet and tacos, and they tend to make the best tacos with their love for feet. But the taco truck's going well, though. The taco truck's going good.
They're making tacos with their feet? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Heard. Fake news. My apologies.
It's okay. I did not say that with the feet. You are taking my words and you're miscombobulating them around.
My apologies. I just really thought it would be very interesting to see somebody make a taco with their toes. I mean, if we're being honest.
Especially if they're Puerto Rican, right?
Yes, Puerto Rican toes are superb.
Yeah.
And I just love them. Every second of them I touch, I just want to just get down in there and yeah, make America great again. Yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing here.
God.
We're making America great.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. the visuals make America great again. I'm never gonna be able to hear that.
You guys gonna get that full moon? I meant the solar eclipse. That's what I meant to say.
Actually, that it's pretty interesting. If you guys do want to talk about that for a second. So the solar eclipse, right? Anderson, the town that I lived in before I moved to Asheville, is right in the center of the eclipse path, right? So the best spot to see it is going to be in Anderson, South Carolina. So many people are going to that like area, like that little stretch or whatever, that all of the hotels in the area are sold out, and they're charging like close to $800 a night, like just for the one fucking night.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Traffic is going to be stupid for that day too.
Oh, I know. Well, and see, that's the thing is like I wanted to take Lainey to it, my little girl, Mr. President. So I wanted to take Lainey to it because I thought it would be like really, really sick to like have her see that.
I'm sorry, guys. I got a call from Dennis Rodman. I really gotta take this.
Yeah,
I really gotta take this.
Not a problem, Mr. Trump. You have a good day. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Make America great again.
Make America
one
great
Puerto Rican
again.
toe at a time. I love you all.
Have a good one, Mr. President.
Bye, Mr. President.
You too.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that was a very nice visit from the president. I know he's been very polarizing in the news lately, but you know, it's always good to have a different side of the president really around. You know.
I think this is the side the media doesn't really portray. You know, this is the down-home president, kind of kicking it back, sipping on a Red Bull and rum,
hanging out with Dennis Rodman. You know, who knew?
Yeah. Well, you know, they're real good pals. Anyway, your story. Your old town is being overrun.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, I really wanted to bring Lainey, but I'm like horrified that if I try to take her, I'm either gonna get stuck in traffic and miss it, or it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, something's gonna go wrong.
You gotta go early, man.
Well, and that's the thing.
Are you working Monday?
I'm off on Sunday and Monday because I've
Nice.
So today is day 9 or 10, I think, and then like my straight. Basically, I've been working straight since I got back from Florida, and I get 2 days off. Yeah, after that. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so
It's not often you get back-to-back days off, is it?
No, not unless I request them. I usually only get 1 day off a week, so the fact that I'm getting 2 is it's only happened. Let's see, I've been worked there for 6 months. And I've only had 2 consecutive days off that were not requested for like events or whatever, like twice, I think. So this will be the 3rd time I've had back-to-back days off. Like I said,
that's cool.
9 times out of 10, I only get 1 day off a week. But
Yeah.
So, oh god, yeah. And then I worked a double. I mean, you guys, I heard, but I worked a double, 2 doubles, or whatever. Back to back. Yeah, that was. I didn't get out of work until like 9 o'clock. It was garbage. But anyway.
Yeah, I know. So when do we want to get all Smeagol on?
As soon as we're ready, really. I guess we can check with him and see how he feels about the eclipse. You said something about him talking about new acting roles, right? So Smeagol's gonna be.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, we're really branching out with the Henry Lovers podcast. We're hitting all of the big important people. We've got Trump. We've got random fishermen. We've got
that one gay dude
FM,
from, like,
AM
Texas.
radio moguls that want to take us over.
What was his name? He was the cotton farmer from Texas. Is that what it was?
No, he's the AM radio guy. He had the AM radio empire. I don't remember his name.
You don't remember the cotton farmer from Texas or whatever?
Yeah, he wasn't cotton farmer. He was AM. He was the radio dude.
Was he?
He had the Steers and Queers podcast, or Steers and Queers radio, the Dowry Power Hour.
Yeah.
Boy, he just wanted to rape Chico.
That's well. So did the guy that like the other 3 guests. That was just weird. We
anyway,
seem to have an obsession with Chico's feet in this.
we had Smeagol coming on the show, so I guess I'll call up old Smeagol, and he really was excited to come on the show. He's a little disturbing, but ring 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 ring.
Hello, who's this?
Hello.
Hi Smeagol.
Hi, how's it going, my buddy Mikey? How you doing?
Doing great.
You guys got the ring by any chance? You got the ring, the precious? Sir? Anybody?
The Precious? No, I don't think we've seen the Precious.
We like
Sorry.
the precious. We hate it.
You hate the Precious?
You
I
hate
thought you
it,
just
you
said
like
that.
it.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing there for a minute, man.
I'm sorry, guys. After my big role with Lord of the Rings, I really was so trying to find a new ring. So I went to the Burger King. And when I was at the Burger King, I found onion rings. And onion rings were like precious to me. So precious. And I got super obese. I couldn't move. It was terrible.
Wait, did you just say you got super obese?
I got super obese.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Smeagol.
I was sad. I just wanted precious.
So
Nobody wanted me in movies anymore. I was just so sad.
it sounds like you got addicted to onion rings. Is that safe to say?
I got the onion rings. Precious. We want the onion rings. No, we don't. We don't want the onion rings. They're bad.
But it's okay. So, I am sorry that you decided to eat an entire factory's worth of onion rings since Lord of the Rings.
Tasty.
But
So tasty.
oh. But okay, we hear that you are possibly going to be in some new movies or something similar of the sort.
Yes. I've been in. See, I was telling Mikey because I was so down on myself. I really needed a motivation. So then I started doing some coke. And it helped me get back into shape. It was so good. I was like, I love coke. And then this one guy came up to me and goes, Gollum, I got a job for you. And I'm like, what's the job? And he's like, you ever been in a dirty movie? I'm like, Smeagol doesn't do dirty movies. He's like, it pays money. And I'm like, okay. So I started a movie called Lord of the Cock Rings, and it was just so terrible.
I'm sorry that we're laughing at your obvious pain here, Smeagol, but I gotta tell you, man, Lord of the Cock Rings is a pretty great title for a movie. Was it really that bad?
It was okay.
Actually, the more important question was, what was your role?
Yeah, that's actually.
I was Smeagol. I was Smeagol, and I was so happy, and I was like, oh, it's Lord of the Rings again, and then there was boobs and dicks everywhere. I couldn't stop looking. I hate it. And then I saw Precious. It was on a 12-inch dong. Precious was just there. I just wanted it. And I said, no, can't have it. It's on a bad part of the guy's body. But I took it, and I wore it myself. Like, I'll be in the upcoming sequel. Lord of Cock Rings, Return of the Two Cock Rings.
Please tell me there will be loads of sword fighting in the sequel.
There's gonna be sword fighting. There's gonna be apparently a love scene between me and Frodo, but they call him Dildo Baggins. No, Dildo Shaggins. That's what it was. I just don't want to do it anymore. But they pay me money.
I hope the money's good. I really, really do, because I have to be honest, I would watch the shit out of that movie.
Did you guys ever see my first movie I was ever in?
No, what was that?
I was in Jurassic Park. I was in the first Jurassic Park movie.
Were you?
Yes, I was the spitter. The spitting dinosaur. They had me in that costume, and I spat at that fat guy.
I see. I see.
Are you
That's how I
gonna
got
play
my
the spitter and
start.
return the two cock rings?
Nah, he's gonna pay the swallower.
Oh man. Well, it sounds like you have a great career going now.
It's
Really
okay.
looking up.
You know. I hate it. I hate the porn. But I love the Coke so good. It smells so nice. So nice. You can't stop. You get fat. Nobody loves you anymore. But I want to be loved.
Smeagol, it sounds like you've really just hopped from one addiction to another would there be any way that we could maybe get you a phone number or something like that? Maybe
we can get you addicted to Puerto Rican feet.
Let's not do that. We have enough people on this podcast that are addicted to Puerto Rican feet, all right? We don't want that to be the Puerto Rican feet podcast. I'm just saying.
Smeagol understands.
Poor Smeagol.
You know, after this show, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna email you some numbers, hopefully some that you can contact and get yourself in a better space. You know, who knows? Maybe the Cokes won't be the precious anymore.
Really, this is so white gold. Just the booger sugar. I just love it so much.
Well, Mr. Smeagol, we will do our best to try to help you prevail over this evil that is, as you say, the booger sugar. And yes. Well, thank you for sharing your deepest, darkest, newest, also, I don't really know what to call them. But that's what they were, and they were beautiful. Thank you, Smeagol.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Absolutely, and you know, maybe next time you come on the podcast, you'll be a new Smeagol, as it were.
Maybe, I don't know. I hate that. I don't want to be the Smeagol anymore.
Well, that's good. We'll get you some contact information, and we'll put you on the right path to being a better Smeagol and an all around less golem-y golem. How about that?
Gracias.
De nada, Smeagol. Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you, Smeagol.
Goodbye.
You have some
Really?
weird friends, Mike.
I know you guys.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was about to say. I mean, I can't really talk because I'm a part of that. So
It's great.
Just
it's
putting
great.
it out there.
It makes every day worth living. What do we got next, boys and girls? Do we have trivia? Do we have a Henry of the Week? Do we have whatever do we have?
Okay, so I have a trivia. I have a artist spotlight. I'm assuming you have a Hoobly guy.
Boy, howdy do I.
Boy, how to do it. All right, so
I think trivia. People love trivia. Let's do the trivia.
I do love the trivia. And actually, it looks like we have another person watching, so we're up to 4 now. Okay, so, fellas, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to need you to write this stuff down because I didn't have enough time to, like, do all this and take a picture and whatever else. So...
Slackers.
You got your phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first category, and I'll say these all out loud after I send them to you. So there's only 3 categories because I knew that we were going to have some guests on today, so I didn't want to make this thing drag out the rest of the podcast. So
Copy that.
we have 3 categories. We have Who Sang That Shit? But Mama Says,
Nice.
and Movies That Don't Suck. So we have 100, 200, and 300, okay? And then we will have, after all of these have answered and we've tallied up the totals, we're going to have a final Jeopardy question, which is I'm going to play you a clip, and if you can name the clip, then you will win whatever doubled amount. And
what,
this
like the movie the clip is from? Is
more
that
or
what we're
less.
talking about?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. So, but what it is I'm going to play the full clip, and then you guys will have a second to figure it out, and then, you know, Chico will say it, and Mike will say it, or however. But whoever the winner is so far will say their answer, and then the person behind them will say the answer. And, yeah, then that'll determine the final grand totals. So
Copy that, Roger Wilco.
all right, so who is the winner of the last thing? Was that Chico or was that Mike?
Chico won. Yes, Chico won.
Okay, so Chico...
I was the guy, so Chico won.
Oh, right. Okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Well,
you lost, remember?
Yeah. Who wants to go
Loser.
first then? Because I forgot about that.
Pick a one or a two. That's the best way to do it. One or a two.
All right, Chico, 1 or a 2?
1.
All right, Mike, you go first.
Yeah, baby. Who sang that shit for 300?
Who sang that shit for 300? I got 2 words for you. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wait.
Queen.
Aw, fucker.
All right, so that is Chico with 300.
I hate my life. I'm an idiot.
All right. Or no, I'm sorry. That's, well, fuck it. Whatever. I already said it out of order. I had those 2 mixed up because that was easier. That
was the 100.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I kind of wondered. I was like, wow, that was a cake third answer.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the second answer actually.
All
But
right,
it's
so
it's
then
okay.
that was 200. That's fine. We'll make it the way it's supposed to be.
All right. My bad. So Mike, you accidentally picked 200. Chico got it right. Chico, go ahead.
Okay, let me just cross off 200 here for that. Me. Okay. All right. We'll do. Who's saying that shit for 100?
Who sang that shit for 100? Do you guys remember that pop punk trio who sang that one song, I Miss You? Mike?
Blink 182.
Boom! Mike with 100 points.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, hey. Ashley's
Okay.
back. Hey, what's up, Ashley? Phil? Freddie Mercury, he sang it. Yes. Actually, well, that's true. We could have gone with that one, too. All right, sorry. I didn't have...
the correct.
Damn, we got fucking 7 people watching right now.
Hell yeah. They're all excited about Trump. Trump.
Well, we haven't really had much in the way of chatting. But anyway, back to trivia. So, Mike, you got that last one. So, who sang that shit? But Mama Says, or Movies That Don't Suck?
Who sang that shit, yo?
For 300?
Yeah.
All right. So, last who sang that shit? In the 90s, this one band sang a song. Oh, damn, what was it called? One Headlight?
One headlight?
Can we get negative points?
No, there's no negative points, but if you want... Wait. If you want, I can play you a clip of the song.
Copyright infringement, bro.
No. It'll only be like a few seconds.
All right, do it. Cue it up. Let's go.
All right, hold on. Queuing it up now.
This is a lot like Jeopardy from Saturday Night Live. The Wallflowers.
Chico with the steal.
Lame sauce.
right.
Boo.
So that means, let me total this one up real quick. Chico, you have 500 points, and Mike, you are at 100. Chico, since you had the steal, we have 2 categories left, but Mama Says and Movies That Don't Suck.
For 100.
Which one? Mama Says or Movies That Don't Suck?
Movies That Don't Suck.
All right. In this movie, 2 British dudes fight off hordes of zombies in a pub. Mike?
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. All right, Mike with another 100.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mike, you got the
Movies
board.
that don't suck for 200.
Movies that don't suck for 200. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Said it first. Fuck off.
Chico, 200. I probably woke up my neighbors and my little girl, but fuck it. That was worth it. All right.
All right, let's finish that one off.
2 words.
Did you even say the?
What? He said.
Did
finish
Chico
it off.
even say? Did you say the movie?
Yeah, he said Rush Hour.
I said, Matt, rush.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, Mike. All right. 2 words. Truffle shuffle.
The good-
Mike beeped in first, though.
What? I said it. What?
You
What are
said
you
it,
talking
but
about?
Mike beeped in. I heard
No,
You
no.
didn't
Mike
beep
beep
in.
in.
I said,
I
The
heard
Goonies.
Mike beep in.
There's no way. Listen to the recording. I said it first. Fuck you, Mike.
We will resolve this after the fact, but Mike beeped in. That's what I heard.
Goonies.
All right, Mike with 300. It's all right, Chico. You're still dominating.
Yeah.
All right, so let me.
Dominating is not enough. I need to crush my opponent.
I need to.
Whoa.
crush him.
Whoa.
right,
Hostility,
so-
bro.
Right now, the
Chill.
score is Mike with 500 and Chico. Oh, Phil got that a little bit late, but it's okay. We're probably on a lag. Yeah, John, there you go. Okay, so Mike with 500, Chico with 700. That is the final, or that means we have the final category. But Mama says, and Mike, you are on the board.
Well, Mama says for 300, please.
But Mama says this woman in particular is the devil.
I said it first, Mike. Fuck off. That's the water boy.
No. Okay, let me.
You gotta fill in the blank,
Yeah,
cheeks.
yeah. So I'm gonna give you the question. Okay, so this is all from the water boy. All right. So listen to the whole question.
yeah.
We'll do it again. It's okay. For 300, listen to the question, then answer. But Mama says this woman in particular is the devil. Mike. Mike.
Vicky Valancourt.
Boom, Mike for 300. All right. So hopefully you guys have both watched this movie.
Oh. Boy, have I.
All right, Mike. Once again.
200. For 200.
200.
For 200. For 200. 200.
Mama says that the alligators are so angry because they got all them because they got all them teeth and no Mike.
Toothbrush.
Yeah, there we go. Mike got it. I gotta wait, Chico. You gotta wait. All right. So as of this point,
Mike wins.
well, no, because we got Final Jeopardy.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean you guess? You just bet your double points or whatever, or however many you want to thing, and then
I hope I get it right.
yeah. All
Or
right.
I hope
so,
I get it wrong.
Exactly. All right. So but Mama says
100, please.
Yep. Mama said this sport is the devil.
Foosball.
You didn't even try that time, Chico. Come on.
It's 100 points. I mean, I'm gonna bet all my points in Final Jeopardy. It wouldn't make a difference.
Well, so on that
What
one,
a little Henry boy.
Mike got 6. So that.
Also, that category is kind of like poorly designed, but it's fine.
Whatever, Cheek. It's not your game, okay?
Okay.
It's Brandon's game, and I did spectacular.
All right.
So,
The category is fine, but like it should be different movies. It shouldn't just be one.
well,
I was thinking about that,
whatever.
but I didn't have time. All right.
It's fine. Call good. I
Okay,
win.
So.
I'm the best
Pew,
ever.
pew, 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 pew. I don't know if that's the noise, but we're gonna do it.
Well,
Foosball.
Final Jeopardy.
Yes, Final Jeopardy. Okay, so this Final Jeopardy, I'm going to play you a clip of a television show. If you can tell me the name of the television show, you are the winner. So,
How many points do I have?
you have 1,100, and Chico, you have 700.
Oh, fuck. So we have to make our wages right now, right?
Yeah.
So obviously Chico's going to wager everything.
Yep.
All right, Chico, 700.
And I'll wager 200 points, right? What do I have?
You have 1,100, so, I mean...
Oh, I'll wager 400 points.
400 points, all right. So 400. Hold on, sorry. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to play you this clip. Wait until the clip is done, and then I will ask you a fair answer. Mike, obviously, I'll ask you first because you are currently in the lead, and then Chico will ask you. All right?
Should we like write the answer down, or are we just gonna be honest?
Yeah, you can write it down, do whatever you need to do. I would prefer that you be honest, but honestly, it's fucking whatever you want to do. I can't see shit.
You can lie, Chico. No lying.
All right.
I know a guy.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. This is the show.
Hello! No! I'm on a boat in Holland! In Holland! Nice rubbish, there's lots of cheese and stuff! Yeah, I can't talk! Yes! Yeah, okay, see you! Ciao!
Okay.
Oh my goodness! I used to watch this all the time. No.
All right,
Mike.
we'll give Mike. We'll give him 10 seconds to think about it.
All right,
You gotta give
all right.
me. You gotta do the Jeopardy theme
All right.
song. That's exactly what 30 seconds. Motherfucker. Come on, Jimmy Neutron, Blade Blast. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna put in the answer. I know it's wrong.
Boom.
All
Okay.
right. Mike,
What
Wait,
is?
hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. But before, I'm just gonna put it in here.
Just so
Wait,
Chico
alright.
can win. He's
There
gonna
you
rub it that he knew the answer all along.
Phil says
I-
saved by the bell.
No, this.
I used to watch this show on Comedy Central all the time, and I have no idea. Somebody could say Crank Anchors. Final answer.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me, Chico? You came back. Wait. Oh shit. Hold on. Give me 5 seconds. Let me redo that.
Oh, that is completely what it's called, Chico.
All right. Are we ready for this shit?
Oh.
So I put it in the chat so that if you said the right answer,
Oh,
it would
man.
be-
Doobie's back. See, Doobie knew
That
it
was
too.
the answer.
Doobie, I'm in the
There he
movie
goes.
theater.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude. This
That
was a
was
fun
Sugar
show to
Happy.
watch.
dude,
That was a great show back in the day.
what the funniest part about this whole thing is though?
Huh.
Chico, Mike is the one that showed me that fucking television show.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's been a decade probably since I watched it.
Okay.
In fairness to my retarded brain.
Well, you know what's funny though? I was doing this thing and I was talking to Brittany and I was like, I need a Final Jeopardy thing. Which, by the way, it's not Jeopardy because copyright. It's Jep Brody. But anyway, so yeah, I was talking to Brittany about it, and I was like, I need a Final Jeopardy thing, and then just I don't remember. I think it was something on the TV or whatever, but it did that.
Yeah, it's got a stupid stock Nokia ringtone.
Yeah, but
that nobody has.
yeah. So anyway, I was so fucking stoked. Because the first thing that
brilliant.
came to my head was,
Brilliant.
hello, what?
He's
And I
fucking
was like,
screaming with a giant ass cell phone, yelling.
oh man. So
Oh.
I'm gonna put that
Dude.
in the description at some point.
Didn't they have kick in the nuts too? They just run up to people and like kick them right in the nuts really hard.
That was the best.
Trigger happy, Phil. Yeah. So
Comedy Central, great show back in the
Yeah,
day.
It was
Great
called
show.
Trigger Happy TV.
Yeah.
If you look it up on YouTube or Google, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you'll find
If,
plenty of things on there.
it's literally, if you want to just like the cell phone thing, then it's just type in trigger happy phone and it'll come up with like a compilation.
It's brilliant.
Dude, it's amazing. Hold on. Let me see if there's another one on there on that same compilation. It might only be him on the boat.
Every bit was like a public place, and the guy would have his ridiculously big cell phone somewhat hidden, and then he'd get a phone call and would fucking whip out this giant cell phone. It was probably 3 feet long, and he would open the fucker up and then just start screaming into it while people were just right there looking at him.
Yeah.
It was great.
Hello? Yeah, I'm jogging! Yeah, I'm jogging! Yeah, fantastic! Yeah, new lease of life and all that! Ciao!
So yeah, he's jogging behind these two women and just, again, whips out this giant fucking phone and starts screaming that shit. And they're, like, terrified and like, what the hell is he doing? And he's just like, I'm jogging! Fantastic!
Great show.
Anyway,
Great show.
Yeah.
Those crazy Brits, let me tell you.
Oh, hey, see, Phil knew what Trigger Happy TV was, too. But,
Kudos to Mr. Phil.
shit. Okay, so anyway,
What do we want to get to next, boys
back
and
on
gals?
track. So what do we got left? We got the history guy. We got
With the history guy, I got it all queued up, ready to go.
We can do that if you want to.
All right.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
hey.
before you go on to that, just keep in mind, if you owned a multi-billion-dollar business and you're going to open up somewhere with like a limited time, how do you handle the backlash? All right, Mike, onto your segment.
Okay. I'm not even sure. What are you talking about? I'm curious.
No, Mike, do your guy who did a thing.
Do my segment. Okay. You boys know who's on the $50 bill, don't you?
Yeah.
Who's on there?
Wait, the what?
Brandon,
I'm sorry,
do you-
I was getting naked.
The $50 bill.
It's hot as fuck
you're-
in this closet. Don't judge me.
You're in the closet.
Ready.
and
Ready
you
to get
get-
ready for the boys.
That's the great thing
Okay.
about a podcast with no video. Nobody can fucking see
Yeah,
me.
you just do as you please. Do as you please. Do as you please.
All right, what was
Someone
the
else who
question?
did as they pleased. Who is on the $50 bill?
I could tell you, but I don't really care. So continue.
Well, I hope that the picture's up at least for my history bit that I sent you.
Oh, is that what those were supposed to be?
Ugh.
It's all right. It's all right.
Well, there's a picture of Smeagol for Smeagol. There's a picture of Trump for Trump. And there's a picture of
Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that
Chico.
guy. Him.
Ulysses S. Grant. Born Hiram Ulysses Grant. For some reason, his parents thought Hiram was a great name. I would have changed it too, frankly. But that's not a here nor there. He was born April 22nd, 1822, and he lived until 20. He was a United States president and the commander general of the United States Army during the Civil War. You've heard of that before, I'm sure.
Mike, why are you doing the weird thing?
I'm doing the thing that I want to do to
All
give
right,
this
do the thing. It's fine. Do your
better
thing.
emphasis. You know what I mean, boy?
I feel you, Mike. Now go ahead and do your bit.
All right, all right, all right.
Hey.
So anyway, U.S. Grant, he's pretty cool. He was general during the Civil War for the North, and I guess this is in retaliation to all the people who are really criticizing the South right now. So I say, fuck them. Because we're going to go right to General Order Number 11 in 1862, Mr. U.S. Grant, who's the president, not the president, he's the general of the Union Army. And they're having some issues. They've captured Tennessee, Mississippi, and Kentucky. And they're having some problems because there's a whole lot of cotton that's being sold on the black market. So you know what he does?
What does he
Old
does?
Grant says, we got to expel all the Jews from Tennessee, Mississippi, and Kentucky. We're going to make sure they all leave because they're responsible for the black market with cotton.
Why does everybody blame Jews? Can we just talk about that for 5 seconds?
Because they're such shrewd traders.
Really?
No, dude.
Like,
Because
you
they're
didn't
good at
take my
they're good at
coupon, so
being
it's your fault?
affluent.
He says, this is what the order said. The Jews, as a class violating every regulation of trade established by the Treasury Department and other department orders, are hereby expelled from the Department of Tennessee within 24 hours from the receipt of this order.
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't take my coupon. I don't want them here anymore.
No, they're selling all the cotton. We don't want the South getting any money at all. We need to really stick it to them boys. He was a big fan of Total War. You were not going to win the battles. You weren't going to have the food. We're going to crush you until you submit. And obviously, if you're selling your cotton in the black market, you're getting some money. And, well, we can't be having that. So he did that. And then Lincoln quickly found out. And then Lincoln was like, bro, what are you doing? So Grant is like, okay, well, we're not going to do that. I really would like to, but fuck it. Okay, so second thing Grant did that was really, really, really awesome. This is when Grant is president of the United States. He's president, and this is right after the war, and well, the newly freed slaves are not getting along real well with some of the farmers there. They're having some issues, as one might expect. And Grant comes up with a great plan to take care of this issue. They're going to buy the island of Santo Domingo for, I think, $1.4 million, something like that. He's got this plan. Okay, it's going to be $1.5 million, and then they're going to pay the king of Santo Domingo $1,000 every year or whatever. So basically, Grant's big plan is we're going to take all of the newly freed slaves, and we're going to ship them out. We're going to just get rid of them, and then it's going to fix all of our problems. And then it went to the Senate, and they had to vote on whether or not they were going to do it. And it got deadlocked at a 28-28 tie, and it got denied.
All right.
So the guy on your $50 bill is a pretty big a fuck boy who also owned slaves during the Civil War, I might add. And he fought for the North.
Dude, but he was a good guy.
It's pretty great. He did a bunch of cocaine before he died.
Hey, so did Smeagol.
I mean, dude, that's the but that's the right way to do it, dude.
Yeah, well, if I had throat cancer, I might do cocaine too. But anyway, U.S. Grant, pretty awesome guy.
All right. How about that? $50 bill. Okay. So
skip out all the blacks and expel the Jews. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still, man. Words. Okay, so what do we want to go to from here, fellas? Follow off.
Chico.
All right, we saving the artist for last then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll end on a musical note. So as I was saying before, so recently, my favorite football team, although Mike may laugh, it's been my favorite football team since I was a little kid. Literally I picked the team was just because of the colors. I think I was like 8 years old playing NFL Game Day '98.
If we're being
so
honest
good.
though, real quick, don't every football favorites usually come down to my favorite colors. My dad's favorite color is yellow,
sometimes.
and he loves Pittsburgh Steelers.
Usually it's a learned thing. So generally, your favorite team is probably because it was either your mom's or your dad or your brother's siblings.
All my favorite teams are blue. My favorite color is blue.
See, and that's what I'm saying. My dad. Okay, so my biological father, his is Pittsburgh Steelers. Favorite color is yellow. Alan, the only reason that he started cheering for the Buccaneers is because he loved the way that their jerseys looked, the orange and white.
The creamsicle ones back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, those things are freaking sexy.
See? I'm just saying. Sorry, continue, Chico.
So, I mean, my favorite team, just because of the colors back when I was a little kid, was the Atlanta Falcons, the red and black. So, it's just funny.
I think I know where we're going.
Well, I mean, hopefully what I said before your segment makes sense now.
Yeah, it does.
So, they built, the Falcons have this huge new stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and there's obviously with every stadium they put in all sorts of vendors and restaurants and whatnot that you can spend money in, and one of the largest fast food restaurants, like a chain, is Chick-fil-A. Thing about Chick-fil-A knows that not a single Chick-fil-A by corporate policy, because they're religious, is open on a Sunday. They opened this in a football stadium, and what days primarily are football games played?
Sunday.
Oh, they're on Sunday.
Okay, so 7 of the 8 home games that the Atlanta Falcons are going to be playing are on Sunday. So that means that Chick-fil-A will be losing money because they decided to put in this and they decided to buy a spot in the stadium but not be open on game day. So they're the Henry, and there's an honorable mention to some other chicken place in that stadium that made a chicken sandwich named after Chick-fil-A because they're closed on Sundays.
Nice. What's the sandwich called?
I didn't write it down, but it's a good one. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
Oh,
Okay,
Chico.
well, while he's looking for that, actually, there's a restaurant in Asheville. It's like a barbecue place, right? I shit you not, it is run by a dude that used to work at Chick-fil-A. So he recreated the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, right? Like the original chicken sandwich with the Chick-fil-A sauce and all that stuff at his restaurant, and sells it for like 3 times as much as you could get it at Chick-fil-A. And people flock to this place to get this fucking sandwich.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's pretty great. But he also,
is it that good? Like I hear everybody talk about it all the time. Is it really that good?
When you're here for my wedding, dude, we're gonna take you to Chick-fil-A. Like,
is it cheap?
I mean, it's not McDonald's cheap, but you don't want to eat McDonald's anyway.
Is
it
real food? Yeah, is
that's
real
what I was
food
about
at
to
least.
say. Yeah, it's probably like I don't know, $7 or something like that for an entree, like $6-7. But and that's with, like, the drink and the fries and all that. So like you get a chicken sandwich.
I can.
Yeah, it's not
I can deal. I can deal.
But yeah, like, and they have waffle fries instead of like regular fries, and I don't know why, but
Can I get fried chicken and waffles?
They don't have waffles. You can get the fried chicken. You can just get a box of Eggos and then get some fried chicken from Chick-fil-A, and then
dude,
I don't know. You're from.
I love me some fried chicken and waffles, and I tell people that all the time up here, and I get the weirdest looks. And I just think like.
Chicken and waffles is actually delicious. Dude.
Yeah,
I know. Like, are you like mentally retarded?
The sandwich, by the way, is named the Close on Sunday.
Well, you know, it's funny. In the South, there's actually, Apologize by
It's too late to apologize.
Jesse Jackson when he had Randy Marsh there and he said, apologize.
No. What? Hey.
No.
Jackie, what's up?
Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie. This is Jack. Just don't.
Jackie Chan.
No, this is Jackie. This is Doobie's lady. Hi, Jackie.
Jackie.
Anyway, so apologize by fucking one day.
Apologize. Yeah. Randy,
you know what I'm talking about.
Randy Marsh was all puckered up when Jesse Jackson pulled his pants down.
No,
it was
Mike, shut up.
Yeah.
Chico was singing it. Anyway, there's a thing we sing on Sundays when you want Chick-fil-A, but you realize it's Sunday. And you go, it's too late for waffle fries. It's Sunday. And then, yeah. So that's like a thing in the South. It's pretty great. One Republic, fucking Doobie with the save. Thank you, Jesus Christ.
Doobie.
All
right.
Yeah. Anyway, so
it's too late for waffle fries because they're closed.
That's right. So we're gonna close out with the artist.
Heck yeah, we are.
All
Who
right.
is it?
So everybody.
Is it Sting?
For everybody's shock and awe and surprise, and even Chico was pretty fucking surprised, Dr. Dre is my artist spotlight. Dr. Dre.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the song that we're going to get into is Ain't Nothing But a G Thing off of The Chronic. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I need to tell you guys about the reason why Dr. Dre is my artist spotlight. Because I'm sure you probably have seen it advertised and, kind of up wherever. but there is an HBO documentary. It's like a 4-episode documentary called The Defiant
Really?
Ones. Yeah. And it's about
Nice.
Dr. Dre and NWA and the rise of hip-hop and all that stuff. At least like modern, well, not modern, but, you know, modern in the 90s. And like how it was like the golden
Brandon,
era.
are you allowed to say NWA?
Yeah. It's man, get out of here. Anyway, so... Yeah, so it's the rise of like the golden era of hip hop and everything that it stood for and all that stuff. But it also follows I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Dude's name's Jimmy though. He was like a super producer back in the day. He John Lennon's first like solo album. He produced that. He produced Bruce Springsteen's first album. He was like a pinnacle part of Stevie Nicks getting her solo career kicked off. And he actually owned Interscope Records in the 90s, which kind of the subsidiary record companies were Death Row Records, which was the one that Dre headed up. And then Brittany's going to kill me for not remembering his name, but the dude from Nine Inch Nails, the lead singer for Nine Inch Nails.
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor, thank you very much. He actually owned his own label, but they signed bands like Marilyn Manson and like people like that. So like extreme like rock and metal acts, right? So Interscope Records literally dominated the extremes. They had the gangster rap, and then they had, you know, the Marilyn Mansons and the Nine Inch Nails and like, you know, shit like that. So anyway, if you guys have HBO on demand or Amazon Prime, it's actually on that too. Fucking watch this documentary.
Oh, nice.
Like I said, it's 4 episodes. Each one is an hour or a little over an hour. But it's just fucking fantastic. It talks about like Tupac and like the downfall of kind of Interscope after Tupac got shot, and it talks about you know, like the rise of Tupac and the fall of Tupac. And then at the end, it talks about Eminem and how like Eminem was solely responsible for kind of re-sparking Dr. Dre's kind of musical career. Because he'd actually put out a couple albums before he met Eminem that were like flops, like commercial flops. They didn't sell much. They weren't really talked about a lot. But then, you know, again, Eminem comes along, and you know the rest of the story because everybody knows who Eminem is. But anyway, like I said, the Defiant Ones, it's fucking amazing. Just badass documentary. I highly, highly, highly recommend that every single person watches that documentary because it's phenomenal. So, anyway, without further ado, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg himself, Nothing But a G Thing. I'm going to play you like 25 seconds because that's all I can play. Enjoy.
Yeah.
One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door. Ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Cause you know we're about to rip shit up.
Give me the microphone, and bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble.
All right, unfortunately, I had to cut it there before he could even say ain't nothing but a G thing. But there you go. So there is Dr. Dre from The Chronic, which is a great album, by the way. Highly suggest you get it. Yeah, anyway, this documentary gave me a whole new appreciation for old school hip-hop. Like, I've always had an appreciation for old school hip-hop and, like, gangster rap and whatever, but knowing, like, where it came from just made it so much more palatable. It's really amazing. But yeah, so anyway, that's the artist spotlight. Anything else we got, fellas? We moving on to something else?
I don't know. Is there anything else? I thought that was it.
No, I'm pretty sure that's it.
I think that's it.
Didn't know if anybody had any, you know, kind of last minute things. Heard that. Nobody's got nothing. All right. So,
No, I was thinking about a couple of things to talk about, but it was like, you know,
I feel
it is what it is.
All right.
I would say simply that people, you know, as a history guy on the show, it's been tough to watch. And I think Rob Schneider, said it pretty good. I saw a tweet of his. He said, if you turn off your TV, stop listening to the media. It's just not as divided as it seems. So Rob Schreider is the words of wisdom fellow of the day.
Which is ironic because he's a giant cock, but you know.
Hey, well, you know what? It's probably true. You watch these videos and you see the protest, and you know, nothing's gonna be shown positively.
I didn't really bring up anything about it, but what are your thoughts on the stupidity that's going down there?
I hate the Nazis. I think most of the people there at the protests weren't fucking wackos. I watched the live feed for a long time. Because as you guys know, I have a vested interest in history, particularly Civil War history. That's kind of my forte. And watching that it's been rough. I understand that those hate groups are down there, and they make everyone look horrible, and it's really hard to shine a positive light on a statue that those guys are out there trying to claim as their own. And I understand a lot of those statues were built during the Jim Crow era.
What do you say when people are more tolerant of that kind of behavior rather than the people, or rather than like a different race, I should say?
What are you saying? They're more tolerant of the KKK? I don't think anybody's being tolerant of the KKK right now.
Well, certainly people from down there are being more tolerant of them than obviously people from up here. Like, those guys are douchebags. They should be shot, and purge the stupidity. But
people shouldn't be sticking up for them. I mean, they're clearly hate groups.
What do you say to the people that don't necessarily like stick up for them, but for the people that are just like turning a blind eye? It's like, you know what, let them.
I think that those people are probably just hoping that they can just avoid this hostile situation, because it really is just a hostile situation. You've got, as much as the media doesn't want to admit it, there is people there on the left that are. I mean, you could just let the KKK show up and do whatever they want. I mean, I get that people don't want to do that because then you're sending the wrong message. But at the same token, like, you don't have to show up with cameras and, you know, give them any coverage. You don't have to do anything. You could just let them go march and literally have no one there to like applaud them or do anything.
See, okay, I'm chiming in here for a second because I feel like you really hit the nail on the head there. That's the big problem that we have, that we have nowadays, is that everything gets coverage. And in fact, going back to the documentary, Eazy-E, the entire reason that gangster rap was started and became as big as it was, because Eazy-E's motto was, no publicity is bad publicity. So, you know what I'm saying? They would let people feed off of the fact that they were like these gangsters that were going to ruin the world. You know what I mean? So,
sure,
they literally let, like, the people in NWA let everybody run with the fact that the news was saying that this is going to be the end of the world, like this is the end of civilization, because these people are like glorifying violence and murder and whatever else. And that's the thing, is that NWA's first album went like quadruple platinum or some crazy shit like that because news people did not stop covering it and everybody saw it. So there really is kind of like ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't see that it's happening and you don't know that it's happening, then yeah, I'm sure that there are probably some smaller fractions of people that'll still like be seated in the hate and whatever else. But when you really look at it, how many of those people are doing it for the fact that it's going to be televised, or that it's going to push their message? I mean,
every single one of them, dude. Every single one of them is there because they know the cameras will be on them.
Exactly.
They're going to get people on the other side to come out, and they're going to boycott it.
Yeah.
And then you have fucking retards like the one guy that just slams into people in his car. And it's like, I get the fact that you want to show up and you want to protest people you don't agree with. I get that. But you're giving them what they want. They're getting confrontation. They're fucking killing people they don't like. And it's just dividing us further. And I really honestly don't think anyone gives a shit about Confederate monuments. I find that argument hard to buy. I get it. I get that some people might see them and feel oppressed. Well, let's face facts. It's 150 years ago. And in my mind, the war's over. We really shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But I understand that major corporations, people hiring people, might take race into account. But whether or not we like it, selective service does that anyway. We have not selective service, fucking whatever it is. Everyone is so concerned with race and all that. I just wish that the whole world could just get the fuck over it. Get over race, get over gender, get over religion, hire the best candidate for the job, and just get on with it. Like, it's just, who gives a fuck anymore about what sexual orientation anyone is? Who cares what religion you are, what skin color you, that is asinine. Fuck it. Just embrace people for who they are. If they're good enough to work the job, fucking hire them. Just, it's frustrating. It really is.
No, agreed. Also,
I'm sick of being told that. I know it still happens, and it's really frustrating. Because I'm watching people who I grew up idolizing have their statues removed because fucking Nazis are embracing them.
Yep. What's your word on this, Chico? We got a few minutes before we really have to wrap it up.
I mean, on what part? Because there's like multiple things at work here. It's not, it's not there. Like Mike teetered off there towards a. I guess that's hiring people. Oh fuck.
No. So let me kind of recenter you real quick, but just a general idea. Like, obviously, Mike said a lot of things, and I agree with some, and I don't know that I disagree with others. But I mean, he hit a lot of the facts there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are your opinions on the matter? Like, obviously, yeah, Nazis suck, in the fact that they're embracing historical figures for maybe one small aspect of their life is asinine. But, like, you know what I'm saying? What take it from there?
Well, people can, what they're doing is like they're taking whatever they're going after too far. You can believe and speak whatever you want, but you can't impose your will on other people, because obviously that's not going to work.
Yep.
So these some of these folks are trying to say this is the best way to do it, and others are saying no, this is the best way, or like these people are equals, and others say no, they're below us, or however they're wording it, because I'm not gonna I can't really put in a nutshell how these people are like phrasing things on there, because it's really like super far across the spectrum on how things are being looked at. From the racist Nazi point of view, they're pretty much saying anybody who's not white are beneath them,
which is retarded.
Well, I mean, obviously, we know that to be further from the truth. We know that everybody is, from the day they're born are conceptually they're equal, because no person has a greater or lesser worth than another.
Yeah.
But some people refuse.
Even if they're a Giants fan.
Yeah. Some people refuse to actually understand that, because they're going either on their heritage or on the color of their skin or who their parents are, whatnot. It's all ridiculous. Yeah. But on the other side of it, like somebody like myself, like if I were to have, like, I say a confrontation with somebody, but I mean, like, if I were to just like an educated conversation with somebody who's on the other side of this, so that I can try and understand how they thought, I'd either try to provide insight without forcing my ideology on them. Literally, I would just try and say, well, what makes you think that because you're white and they're black makes you superior? And I say I want a logical answer. I don't want like feelings. I don't want anything else other than facts. What makes you a better person than him?
I appreciate hearing that. Like, I really I know I'm a crazy Confederate guy, and like, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up at all, but like, I've been on the Facebook, and it's been really frustrating for me. The most frustrating thing through all of this, like, the Nazis, like, I don't even care, but to have Confederates like Robert E. Lee lumped in with them and I'm continually seeing people on the one end of the spectrum demonizing them.
Okay, but didn't you know Robert E. Lee was a Nazi?
Escape my. It's like, dude. People find it so hard to contextualize history. Like, everybody owned slaves. He owned slaves. He gave them up in the middle of the war, and then he's a Nazi apparently. Even though they didn't come around for 60 years after he died, he's still a Nazi.
Correct. They're calling him a Nazi based on his ideology, but it was
everyone's ideology.
It was a thing about
slaves. Everybody owned slaves. Get over it.
Correct. It was a part of their. It's not necessarily their ideology. It was their culture.
Yeah.
So some of them probably was like, well, owning another person isn't right, but owning another person is how I'm going to get my work.
Yeah.
Accomplished because I need to make money, and this is how
This is how it's done.
And those people were the slave system were not. They were nothing more than labor and dollar signs,
Well, Lee recognized that slavery was immoral and evil, but he's like, I got to make money because I'm broke because my dad was a shithead and lost the family fortune. So this is what I'm gonna do.
Correct. So he may have not shared the ideology of the current day, Nazis, but he did partake in the culture just because that was the product of the time he was living in.
The thing irritates me is Washington. You can go through so many people. That's why I tried to kind of get with Grant. He's on the 50, but he's kind of a shitter.
The first 15 or 20 presidents all had slaves. No, actually more than
probably.
That. No, the first 30 presidents. I think.
No, Lincoln didn't own slaves. Lincoln's the 16th. But a lot of them did though. And that's the whole thing. Is you can go through, and it's just people have such a hard time to contextualize history from 150 years ago, and they bring it to today. They're like, well, he owned slaves. You can't. And then I talked to people on the other side that were in favor of removing these statues, which I get. Some of them can probably be moved. It's fine. I don't care that much, but I want to see the major important ones.
I wouldn't want to see them destroyed. They should.
Killed me.
They could be put in a museum where that kind of stuff is. But then that takes away from the culture and the heritage of the community from wherever they're from.
Exactly.
So you'd have to put them in a public place. Just
and that's why I said I was just you move these statues to a permanent place, and people are going to see them, and they're going to ask questions. They're going to say, "Well, who's this person? Why are they here?" Yes, they might have owned slaves, but they're not there just because they're there because they did extreme.
They're a guy who did a thing a while ago.
Exactly. And when you remove that, you're going to put them in the museum. The people that go to museums are the guys like me who give a shit. When I go to a new city, I'm like, I want to go check out the museum. I don't think the average Joe.
I don't think
is
I
not
ever say
go.
that unless I actually know about a museum being there.
Exactly, but it's just when I talk to people that are really gung ho about getting these statues removed, they don't know. They don't even know the first thing about most of these people. They just know, they own slaves, so they're bad. It's if you're going to end your argument there and you're not going to take the time to learn a little bit more, it's it's so frustrating.
Slavery bad.
So let me kind of interject here real quick because we're racking up the time. So I totally agree with both sides, and personally, I feel like the issue is that it's a lack of education. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people jumping in because it's what other people are jumping in on.
They're trying to get that.
Well, it's not, I don't even think that it's necessarily that, but so the thing, I wouldn't necessarily say that the whole kind of Nazi thing is a culture, especially not back then, because Nazis were about purification of a race. You know what I mean? It's all whites, pure whites, whatever, and like Mike was saying, and I mean, Chico, you pretty much agreed with, is that's how shit was done back then. You didn't really have employees. You had people that worked for you and lived on the farm, and slaves were the cheapest way to do that. You know what I mean?
FYI, the Irish didn't get it real swell either.
No, actually, the N-word originated with the Irish. Historically, that's where it started. But that's a topic for another day. But anyway, no, everybody goes through some shit, except for the Jews. They go through a lot of shit, apparently.
They do. They still get it.
Yeah, every day, and it's ridiculous. But one of the things that I found ridiculous, going with the Jews thing, was the fact that they were chanting that the Jews will not take our homeland or whatever.
That was, again, it's, and that if you're going to punish the Nazis by taking down statues, like, I can almost get on board with that, but I don't. It's
fueling a non-existent fire. That's the point.
Get on board. That's asinine.
Yeah, it's
stupid to punish them. I understand, and the one thing I really wanted to say, I didn't bring this up, and I doubt the person I was talking to is ever going to watch this, so I'm going to say it now. Who knows in history? One thing I was looking at was Dr. King. There was a thing where I read on Dr. King where a homosexual boy wrote him a letter, and King was kind of dismissive and condemning of this guy. He was like, well, it's a good thing you understand the situation and just try to address it in the future. Just try to control your urges, basically, is what he said to this guy. And it was just like, everyone looks at Dr. King and thinks he's a great guy. But in this, obviously we've progressed significantly in the last 60 years, we'll say. Especially when it comes to, gay rights. Being back in his time, being a religious man in the 50s, obviously he's going to think one way. But people don't think of Dr. King poorly now. What are we going to think in 150 years, 200 years?
Well, see, here, let me cut you guys off real quick. Jackie actually put like a really good thing here. It says, humans follow the most convincing advertiser. So, again, like on that note, King led a revolution that helped in a lot of ways. And then, there are things, people try to demonize him because he cheated on his wife. They try to demonize him because, he apparently was dismissive of a gay man or whatever. But again, culture, 60 years ago, gay people were fucking scum. You know what I mean? They had no rights.
Yeah.
Hitler was the same way. He took a nation that was in poverty and just in horrible conditions, and he was the most convincing advertiser. He said, hey, I'm going to fix this shit, and, this is what I'm going to do it. And he, instead of helping people, committed horrible, atrocious things. And, I mean, you go through history. That's the way that it is. Some of these people get statues. Some of these people get demonized. The problem is...
Hitler was like the greatest man of his time.
Oh, he was. But that's...
Hitler.
That's... Yeah. But, anyway, because we really do have to
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
We really do have to kind of wrap this up.
Talk about this for hours,
the best thing about people who always bring up Hitler is like, it's like, yeah, I mean, what he did obviously is really wrong, but he wasn't even like the top kill count leader.
Oh no, not even
Stalin, baby.
Oh yeah,
but
dude, Stalin was a real monster, and nobody ever speaks about him.
Stalin beat Hitler,
but yeah, by a cool 18 million. It was
okay.
Well, he beat him by 18
close.
million, and he beat him by in the war. Stalin won World War II.
Yeah, because he literally just put nonstop amounts of troops on the ground.
Hell yeah, man!
And that's really how wars are. That's how wars were.
Attrition, baby.
They're not. It might not be the same case anymore because technology really is going to overrun.
Well, I've been reading a lot about the bomb, and China says, "Hey, we could lose a billion people and not even worry about it."
We're not going to nuclear war. That's another thing for another day. We're not going to fucking nuclear war. That's
sorry, Rod.
I don't think that's actually something that would ever happen. Just because the cost of it would be too great on every side. There is no winner in that situation.
Well, it's mutually assured destruction. Like going back from the Cold War. If I die, I'm taking you and the whole fucking planet with me. Like it's not gonna happen though. Like I don't. It's the same shit.
But, when I say like. When I say like there's when I say the technological advancements, like where people necessarily aren't going to be dying as much, like on the ground, what I mean is like particularly drones. Like you can destroy full camps, full bases, whatnot, so literally remotely. You have to be nowhere inside. You could be 50, 60 miles away.
It's great now, What do we do when North Korea has drones?
It doesn't matter. Look, okay, here's the thing. North Korea is not going to really progress to that point because if you know, I mean, Mike, you know things about history. When people get to this point and the world starts to not like them, they either become not a thing or they say, okay, my bad. And one of those two things
I
is
don't know.
gonna
They're
happen.
pretty crazy there.
They're insane, but that's not, yeah. But the other thing, too,
Like,
is...
their people can only take so much, abuse, though, because...
Oh, true. I mean, eventually you think they'd overthrow the government, but who knows?
Well,
I don't know. I hope
just
we're
that.
not involved because whenever we try to help someone overthrow the government, it never goes well.
What's because...
Well, it's not just that. I mean, when I say abuse, like, these people are struggling in almost every aspect of life. They have no money, no food. Their housing is shit. They have no infrastructure. They have limited power because they shut off the power, like, every night at 6 p.m. So literally, like, it's one of those crazy phenomena that if you were to look at the power map at nighttime, if you look from a space station, you can see countries all over the world lit up, but then you have like this random dead spot.
Oh, that's North Korea.
Yeah, you have this random dead spot between China, South Korea, and Japan, and like normally you would think that's a mountain range, but that's actually all of North Korea. Like their whole power grid gets shut down entirely. I mean, there's very, very limited situations where there's emergency generators being used to power like a minimalist kind of thing. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So like the people of that nation can only take so much, and I imagine that at some point the people are going to be like, they're either going to say we need to get out of here or we have to get this guy out. And China actually is not in favor of saying people saying they want to get out, because China's population is already incredibly massive, and they don't want to take in 15 or 20. Yeah,
Nobody wants to take in much refugees.
They don't want to take in refugees from North Korea because they know that when that happens, that's an incredible amount of resources that's going to have to be provided to them. And granted, I mean, even if that were the case, I'm sure that South Korea, Japan, and other like neighboring nations in Asia would certainly provide assistance, but it would never be enough not to support that amount, like that massive amount of people coming out of there, because those people don't want to fight. They're fighting a war that they have no interest in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pushing.
Here's Brandon to save the day and wrap it up.
Yes, we're pushing an hour and a half. I love you both. These are great topics, and if we had more time, absolutely.
Stay tuned for the Henry Lovers Politics podcast.
Yeah, right. No shit. Every other Thursday of the week. No, but really great topics, and I really wish we could talk about them more because there isn't enough realism in the world. It's all abstract bullshit. Everybody's offended by everybody else, and it's always extremes. That's the thing.
Too much political correctness. People should just stick to being strictly just correct.
Exactly. And then here's the thing.
Right now,
you can be an asshole. You can be the prettiest.
I am an
thing.
asshole.
That,
I am also the prettiest little thing.
That's fine. You can be all of the things that you want to be. But the point is we have to accept that. We accept you for who you are, regardless of whether we agree with you sometimes or not. And that's what's missing in humanity now. So
agreed.
For everybody that is listening, just keep that in mind. It doesn't matter if somebody agrees with you or not. It doesn't matter if, like Mike said, you're gay, trans, whatever. My favorite thing on the internet, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the podcast before, is a picture of a mermaid and a centaur. And it's over top of a bathroom stall, and it says, whatever, just wash your hands. Like, that to me is the epitome of what we need to think as a country.
Yep.
And as a world, whatever. You do you, as long as you're not hurting me or anybody else.
And be tolerant of me and understanding of me.
You don't even necessarily have to tolerate me. Just go over there and...
Well, just be understanding that I have my own beliefs and I'm not you.
Exactly. But...
Don't just dismiss that just because I don't agree with you.
Exactly.
I think that's why I tried to... I made that post this morning. I've really been into Stoicism and Marcus Aurelius and just kind of learning to accept the world as it is. And it's just like every day you're going to wake up and you're going to be around people you hate. You're going to encounter people who just completely disagree with you. And just,
but it's part of life,
just
man.
know that they're a fellow man and that makes them worthy of your just, acceptance and just accept things the way they are.
Exactly.
So,
So
Brandon,
yeah.
there, I put a link in Fache. Feel free to put that in the comments or in the description of the YouTube video, because that's a really good song for exactly what's going on today.
yeah.
It's
Definitely.
What's going on?
almost.
Yeah, I'll
Mike,
I'll
you should
toss
actually listen to that one too. It's a nice song. It's hip hoppy, but it's
Check
very
it out.
it's very good lyrically wise.
I'll toss it in the description or whatever. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and even the few of you that have stuck around. It's pretty awesome that you stuck around through that whole thing. So thank you very
Kudos.
much for hanging out with us through the little bit of political talk that we had. I'm glad everybody enjoyed. I think we actually hit a mark. We had what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people talking to us at one point in time.
Hell yeah! And I wasn't even in there doing random gibberish.
Yep.
So maybe next week.
Yeah, so thanks again, guys. Thank you for joining us for another awesome Henry Lovers podcast. We will be sure to see you next week. My name is Brandon.
Next Mike.
And I'm your beloved Chico.
Thanks, guys.